Okay, it's a little bit after 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm still shaking. The Lord gave me a rapture dream. And I'm trying to be quiet because my family is still asleep. Although my husband woke up and he wasn't happy. Okay, so this is it. So at first I was talking, I believe it was to my sister, about how awesome it is to give and to be a blessing to others. And then all of a sudden I was in my room, but didn't look like my room because there was like a couch in there, but it was a room. And I was laying there, and all of a sudden, like I remember thinking about God's clock, about his time. His timing is perfect, and oh, my body is just surging right now. The energy, my body is just surging. Okay. Oh, I'm just shaking. Okay. So in my dream, I was thinking about God's clock, and it was just perfect timing, right? So I was laying there, and all of a sudden, like time was up, and the roof became clear, and the sky was just, I could see the stars like never before, not a cloud or anything. The stars were so bright. Oh, my body is surging while I'm talking about this. Oh, the Holy Spirit is just so strong with me right now. All of a sudden, my legs shot up straight in the air. But it was just my feet, like I wasn't really hanging upside down, but it was just like a sign of what it would feel like. And the surge of energy in my dream was so immense, like the pull, I could physically feel the pull. It was just amazing. But then all of a sudden I was still on the earth. But the sign was like I knew what was happening. And all of a sudden my whole family was in the room with me. And my sister was somewhat dancing around, and my arms were up in the air, and she was kind of dancing, and I knew what was happening. And I was like, this is it. Like, Lord, I kept just crying out, Lord, Lord. And I looked down at my hands. My hands were transforming. Like spots of light were like beaming through my hands. Like it looked like just light and gold speckles in my hands, like pieces of me were transforming. And people around me could see it. And it wasn't happening to my sister, but she knew what was happening. And my mother was sitting on the couch, and this was a sign that the Lord was still giving me a chance to speak about what was happening. And all of a sudden, I remember this is the part where I knew I was in my dream, or I knew I was in my room, because I had left so many journals and my Bibles, and I went to my bookshelf, and I grabbed my Bible, and I grabbed my journals, and I have a tribulation booklet, and I grabbed it, and I grabbed all these things, and I said, it's all here, it's in the Bible, it's all here. And then I vividly remember telling them, don't take the mark. And I remember telling them there's a second chance. And my mother was interested. It was like my mom had this bleak look on her face, like she knew, and she was somber though. She wasn't like upset, but she wasn't happy. And then this is like really crazy, and my husband he's not a believer. And he was in the dream, and this is kind of funny, but not really. But the Lord had left me gifts, okay, from heaven. And this is really weird because he loves sweets. And there were donuts. And this is really weird, but this was in my dream. And he was eating one of the donuts that was given to me, right? And he was eating one of the donuts, and he was just kind of had this angry look on his face. And And I told him, I said, you still have a second chance. Because he was almost looking at me like, well, go, bye, see ya. Because he knows that it's all I talk about. I mean, I was just talking about it in the car last night. And I prayed in my dream. I prayed, I'm still shaking. I prayed before I went to bed, and I always do most nights. Lord, give me a dream. Give me a vision that I could share with people. And he did. And I've had tsunami dreams, but this was a rapture dream. This was a rapture dream, friends. It was just amazing. My body is shaking. Like the surge and the energy that happens is far beyond I can even express. I mean, enough to where I woke up, and I remember as I was waking up out of my dream, I could hear myself like crying, and I had to get out of bed because I realized that I eventually woke up my husband, and I went into the extra room, and I just immediately got on my face. I laid flat out on my face, and I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, you are worthy. Lord, I have still time left. I get to share this dream. I have to share this dream. I was so thankful and honored to give this dream, to have this dream, and to share it. Look, people, he's coming, friends. He's coming. Be ready. It was so beautiful. It was more the feeling, the energy, and his timing, his clock. It was like that second, bam, when it happens, it's happening. It's happening. And then the ceiling just opened up, and you could see the sky. Oh, I better go. Oh, it was so beautiful. Okay. God bless you, each and every one.